This area of skin is very difficult to tattoo. The more superficially the pigment is applied, the less color distortion we will have during the healing process. Moves in various directions: vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. Anything that can cause swelling, we must fully eliminate with you. The colorant requires a time period for development to occur. Hi all, I'm Maria Plotnikova and I invite you to the Hanafy channel. Today we'll create smudged eyeliner together.
Maria Plotnikova is a mentor and trainer in Russian permanent makeup with over 5 years of experience. The creator of the Russian permanent brand, a multiple champion and medalist of the largest championships in permanent makeup, a judge and speaker at specialized events. Currently working in Perm in Moscow. Maria is the author of the unique glam eyeshadow technique, and in this video she will demonstrate how to create a beautiful smudged eyeliner using it.
We have already sketched the outline with a simple gel pen and a self-sharpening pencil. We start with fixing the sketch, which guides our eyeliner. The needle protrudes 2 to 3 millimeters. Stretch the skin in 3 directions, pull up with your finger, pull down with your thumb. And with the other hand, we reach towards the 3rd direction, and then carefully begin fixing on the surface. On the right eye, we fix the guide starting from the interciliary edge, which is opposite to the direction of control. With a gentle touch, not going too deep, we cautiously enter the skin. The tension remains the same. 3 sides and straight lines appear very thin to you. We establish the guideline for our eyeliner. With a gentle touch, barely making contact, we draw the line and discreetly remove it from the skin. We verify, ensure that everything remains intact. To repair the sketches, I consistently begin with the lightest shade, in order to minimize the likelihood of me creating a bold line during the drawing process. And in this case, this is the first pigment extract by Olga Kostanetskaya on a yellow base. Now I will apply a bit more to enhance clarity. We administer secondary anesthesia to the specific area where the procedure was performed by our team. Once we have rectified the line, I opt for a dark brown hue to fill in the white gaps on the eyelid area, because this specific region of skin is extremely difficult to color, and it is a common mistake among artists to leave it for last, resulting in a lack of proper coverage and unsatisfactory outcomes. So, we begin the procedure from it. Let's ensure the tension is no more than 1.5 centimeters. Using very short strokes, with the working pixel being approximately 3 millimeters, we start filling in the image by applying quick and superficial strokes in a precise manner. When working with branches, the most important thing is the correct tension. That is, the skin should be stretched straight like a plane, like a drum. The better your tension is, the faster and better your coloring will be. With the second hand that stretches the skin, you listen to the vibration, meaning the vibration should be uniform. My primary method is to work in blocks, meaning I color one section and then move on to the next one in a systematic manner. We closely monitor the tension with these short strokes. We create a dense yet very superficial coloring at the same time. The smoother the object is laid, the less color distortion we will get during the healing process. Movements in different directions, meaning they can be vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. The so-called smudged effect. Now we have filled in this area and are gradually moving on to the next. We step out by about 3 millimeters and start painting. Currently we are working with a Bishkek machine. This is a hybrid with a needle size of 3.5. Needles are primarily selected gradually and carefully over time. In this case it's 30 REL LT as I gradually wash my rail. Apply paint to the bright section of the eyeliner, being careful and taking your time, using a gentle touch. Changing the direction of the stroke, I made horizontal strokes. Now we are going diagonally, pulling the stroke upwards. When coloring the white roller, I consistently go into the interlash zone to ensure that it gradually starts to color from the very first pass in the process of coloring. When we approach the coloring of the interlash area, we just need to work on it a little bit more. We are not anticipating an immediate bright color, and it is important to remember that this element needs time to develop fully. And since we work superficially, we do not immediately see the brightness of light with you. The area around the iris of the eye is very difficult to color. It's important not to panic in this area. You should always focus on the diameter of the point left by your needle. In other words, the dots should be microscopically tiny, dusty, similar to what we did in the tail area while guiding our eyeliner. We also pay very close attention to the tension in this area because very often it is precisely in this part of the eye that the tension is lost and the needle starts leaking paint, meaning we start working in a puddle. This primarily indicates that we've lost tension. We can't color this area and we start to traumatize it. Never add pressure to the machine when she is not applying color. We must feel the vibration that the needle emits directly with the second hand. And this vibration should be the same on any part of the eye, except for the area between the eyebrows. In the second eye, we start in the same way from the corners of our wing, the part that should be the brightest. And using our brief, rather fluffy brush strokes relying on the sense of human touch, we start to fill in the cup of our arrow. We achieve color intensity through the density of the application. The more superficial we go, the less traumatic this whole process is for the human skin. The needle barely touches the skin. In the upper area, I don't use long strokes because long strokes deposit the pigment deeper. We choose light, short, yet gentle strokes when working in the upper area. Now I will go along the lash line for a short distance to catch the interlash area between the lashes. Now we apply anesthesia and return to the right eye. I sit right at the edge of the eye so that my stroke goes towards the end of the arrow. Now we are also working with dark brown, starting from the same spot, continuing to densify and add intensity with very short strokes. And when we pull the color upwards, we try to place the pixel in such a way that it is somewhat chaotic, avoiding clear-cut edges when transitioning from one color to another. After anesthesia, the pigment is already deposited much better. I generally prefer working on the area after freezing with secondary anesthesia because the skin becomes drier and firmer. In my view, he'd look better if he were colored directly. I always begin with the interlash area covering part of it, so I keep dyeing it repeatedly. Right here, this same block that I dyed, I'm now starting to fill in with cross-hatching strokes. I am carrying all of them on myself at this moment. The higher we climb, the more sparse the pixel layout ought to be. The densest part remains between the eyelashes and above the lash line for both of us. Everything that goes directly above should be completely transparent. I start again from the interlash area. I worked diligently, and with sparse strokes I pull upwards. I'll take another section and then change the direction of the stroke. We meticulously remove the pigments. I use a damp cotton pad and delicately dab it initially and then wipe off in a single swift motion. Our eyes have a tendency to swell, and the more friction there is, the greater the likelihood of swelling, so any factor that can trigger swelling, we must completely eliminate with you. So gradually the density of the coloring is starting to show, and the closer to the bridge of the nose, the thinner this shading reduction is for us. And with very short strokes, we densely apply the pigment, we change the direction of the stroke towards ourselves, and again, moving into the interlash area, we gradually apply color. When we have already laid out the first, this very basic layer, I take the second color from the colors by Litvinetska. He leans more towards the red side, and I'm currently blending all the elements of this story that I've just finished cutting. We don't lift too high. We will cover the top with the same color that was used to fix the sketch. This is the initial color on a yellow base in order to achieve this specific effect on the outer wing of the object. And with this second color, I literally step out by another millimeter from the area that I colored on the fresh section. We connect these two blocks with short sliced cuts and proceed to the highest floor, which is also the most well lit. Now I've taken the lightest brown. My task is to apply it very, very, very softly right now. So if in the beginning we worked with a fairly dense layout, here we simply blur the boundaries of our eyeliner a little bit. We blur all this history so that the arrow in the healed state simply has no boundaries. During healing, this yellow color will be almost imperceptible, but at the same time it will precisely create this effect of weightlessness on the eyelids. and employing quite spacious, sprawling brush strokes, we establish a connection between the bright part and the clean area of the skin. Ensure the distance between points is consistent. The criterion is not coloring density or brightness, but specifically the same pattern. We're not scared of this height. This color in its healed form won't be very noticeable. To avoid overdoing color, we'll fill in lash line, allowing color to develop. Then we'll assess if additional color is needed in other areas. The area above this poily is delicate. It can be overpacked, so it's better to allow the pigment time to settle to avoid messy staining later. Then, take the fourth color and start working with the area between lashes. Our goal is to open up the area between lashes. And I also want to clarify that my movement here will be, if I may say so, a bit more rough and less refined in comparison to what I did previously. Emphasize area near inner corner of eye for smooth transition to area between lashes. When working on area between lashes, apply color with short, dense strokes, moving in blocks as if repeatedly going over same spot for seamless blending. Why do we work more roughly on the area between eyelashes? Because the area between eyelashes is similar to cartilaginous tissue due to the presence of hair, eyelash follicles. So if it's too smooth on the surface, it won't be colored properly. When I paint the area between eyelashes, I immediately move up by 1 millimeter from the area between eyelashes to also color this area with this black color. However, when I move up from the space between the eyelashes, I don't fill it in very densely, so it appears quite spread out, enhancing the space between the eyelashes. Look, I have applied the product horizontally. Right here, I am using short diagonal strokes on the same area. First, we fix the eyeliner with black color along the growth of the last eyelash. So we don't bring it all the way to the end, around 40–50%, for the eyeliner to be more voluminous, more lively. I wipe the area between the eyelashes immediately because black pigment tends to stick, making it very difficult to remove later. And here in the area near the outer corner of the eye, yes, in the white area near the inner corner of the eye, I will lightly apply black color with sparse strokes to enhance the gradient, this color transition, but not densely, meaning there should be no visible lines in the end. We open up the area between the eyelashes. From the previous block, I literally step out by 1 millimeter, meaning one block overlaps the other, 90%. And once more we ascend closely from the final row of eyelashes to the upper one. Now we will be coloring the beginning of the area between the eyelashes, and for this we open the area between the eyelashes very well from a thick section. Right into the thin hair there closer to the nose bridge. Begin gently. Currently I am starting to work on this specific part. Consequently, I am applying black and dark brown colors to enhance the overall aesthetic. So I essentially seal this black color right here. I took black once again to ensure a proper seal. That is enough. Place them sporadically. Apply more densely between the eyelashes. In this vicinity near the inner corner of the eye, you can make it a bit denser, but not too much, as the black color is quite intense and it quickly covers everything around it. Our objective is just to incorporate a small amount of contrast in color. We ensure not to excessively densify and certainly not to begin exerting pressure on the eyelid so that it doesn't settle deeply. The next color is dark brown, and we seal it with black color. That's it, and now I'm taking the final pass, applying the second color, which is warmer in tone. And I meticulously run through the entire body of our small arrow with great care and caution. I do not run densely, but instead run rather loosely. Well, the procedure is finished. There is a slight swelling, but overall it turned out very beautiful and neat. In the next episode, we will do corrections, and there I will share even more life hacks. So subscribe, like, ask questions in the comments. I will definitely respond.